My journey to the claw machine, life, started on April 11th, 1987. I was a very weird baby with acid reflux and stomach problems, but that went away as I got older. The only thing I remember vividly as a kid was my dad with his gigantic camcorder which filmed on VHS tapes. He would hook it up to the TV so the image the camera was showing showed up on the TV as well. This concept enthralled me like never before, and little did I realize how much of this concept is still a part of me today. While I do remember bits and pieces of elementary school, most of it is a blur. I was a good student, with occasional bad grades on tests here and there, but nothing to affect my overall education. I never really got severely bullied, but the occasional idiot would say something stupid to me, and I just ignored it. I pretty much kept to myself and tried to fit in with the friends that I had. My half-brother, Josh, who is a few years older than me, was like a best friend to me growing up. He lived with his mom and stepdad and would come in to stay the weekends at my house. We played Mario 3, Zelda, Sonic, and any other NES, Super NES, or Sega games we could rent out from my grandfather's video store. I loved to tease my brother when he would get mad at a game and would always record it on my cassette tape recorder. We didn't have small video cameras with memory cards then, so I had to improvise. Looking back, I do feel bad tormenting my brother over video games, but as far as brothers go, we rarely ever fought. And to this day, I feel extremely lucky to have such a great companionship with my brother. Growing up though, my half-brother, Josh, was always the one who was better at things like competitive sports. As a kid, I was forced to play baseball and flag football, which I absolutely hated because I wasn't good at either. I never got thrown the ball once in football, and was always afraid of the ball in baseball. Sports were not just for me and were very intimidating. Right before my teen years, my parents got divorced, and I wasn't sure how to take it at the time. My mom and I ended up moving in with my grandparents. Yep, lamp! I had my own bed to sleep in my grandparents' room. Ew! But no, really, I made the best of it, and I spent a lot of my time with my grandparents and my uncle, who were big influences in my life at the time. And I really didn't have any friends to hang with except for a select few that lived in the area. Back in the days of dial-up internet, I wasn't allowed online when my grandmother was on the phone or expecting a phone call. My Uncle Rick's computer, however, just fascinated the heck out of me, with top-of-the-line technology, Windows 95, and the awesome 4 megabytes of RAM it had. More importantly, this thing called the internet was unlike anything I had ever seen before, and I would be on it any chance I had looking up Sega Genesis or other video game cheat codes. I remember right around finishing elementary school was when my dad bought me my first very own camcorder, a JVC which took VHS-C tapes. I didn't really have many friends at the time, so my camcorder actually became a friend to me. I would film literally everything, from my grandfather refinishing furniture, to us driving to the grocery store, to us eating dinner in the kitchen. The camera was always rolling. After living with my grandparents for about a year and a half, my mom and I moved out and rented this home just a few minutes down the road from my grandparents. I loved it now that I had my own room, my own computer, my own space. It was in this new home I would eventually begin high school, which at first I was nervous about, but after a few weeks I got the gist of it. Continuing to grow up into my teen years, I always remember asking my mom, "Mom, what am I good at?" And she would always reply with something along the lines of, "You'll start to find out as you get older." I felt lost at the time. I had no idea what I wanted to go to college for or pursue in life. As soon as I turned 16, I got my first job ever at CVS Pharmacy as a cashier and customer service person. My first day, I was extremely shy and nervous. I never talked to people like I had to on this job. Little did I know, it would be this first job of mine that would finally start to break me of my shyness and allow me to save up for something that was an absolute dream of mine to own: a claw machine. Every paycheck from every week would go into this old pretzel jar in my room. I was determined to finally own this thing called a claw machine, which I have been obsessed with as far back as I can remember. My parents knew I was addicted to them, and would even limit my play when I went on camping trips with my friend and his parents. They knew I would constantly be at the arcade playing the claw machine. At the time, I didn't consider myself normal. I always said to myself, nobody really in the world likes these claw machines. But that really never stopped me from playing them, as I was severely addicted. After finally saving up enough money, I found a machine on eBay for around $500 and bought it. It barely fit down our basement at the time, and when I got it, I was just in awe. Finally, my own claw machine, to fill up with prizes however I want. Day after day, I would just constantly play and play and play, setting up plush in different scenarios, adjusting the strength of the claw, and studying how the machine worked. As technology started to improve, I got better camcorders and started to experiment with digital video editing. The first series of videos I filmed were called Gadget of the Day, where I would spoof home shopping networks and try to be funny. They were lame. But it was these videos that would kickstart my interest in being in front of the camera. The problem was, there wasn't one good, decent site to upload all of my videos on, and I searched around a while to try to find a decent one. My friend one day suggested YouTube, and I decided to try it out. I made an account January 4th, 2006. I started by uploading random videos until one day I got a new camcorder and needed something to film. I decided to go into my garage, where my claw machine now was, and just film tips on how to win at the claw machine. I didn't really have any ideas in mind, I just wanted to actually experiment with shooting different camera angles and adding a voiceover. The video called Tips of the Claw Machine would start what my channel is today. I got a ton of good feedback from the video saying my tips helped. This then inspired me to do a bunch of videos where I go out to various places, play the claw machine, and give tips while I actually play. Thus, Journey to the Claw Machine was born. As I made more videos, my cat Piggy ended up becoming a co-star as well. Piggy was actually a rescue cat when we got her. She came from a home that neglected her. Words cannot describe the joy in my heart that this cat went from being not cared about at all to becoming very popular and loved greatly by all of my viewers. I ended up taking classes relating to media arts and film in college, and I now have a bachelor's degree in media arts and a minor in photography. These skills, along with learning how to handle critique and what makes a good video, I feel have helped me along with my YouTube channel. Many times, however, I went through rough moments with my channel. I would frequently play the comparison game, where I would look at my views compared to someone else like Smosh or Ray William Johnson or Justin Bieber, and get very, very discouraged. More than once, I've come very close to stop making videos and just getting rid of my channel. At this point, I still wasn't partnered and had gotten denied when I had applied the first time back in 2010, early 2011. But occasionally I would glance back at some of the nice comments that people left on the videos that I already did have that were enjoying my videos and telling me to never stop making videos. Also, the first time I was recognized in public was at a Steak and Shake restaurant. A kid named Brendan watched me as I tried the claw, then came over to tell me he watched my videos and loved them. And this was back around when I only had about 500 subscribers. I think it was this little grain of hope for myself that led me to keep going. Finally, in December 2011, just a few days before Christmas, I got the email that I was accepted as a YouTube partner. It was from this day forward that I decided to dedicate this channel to claw machine and arcade game videos. The day that really changed my life was me taking place at the Monroeville Toy Show convention this past April, where I had my first official meet and greet. I felt really embarrassed to have a meet and greet since I was in no way considered myself famous or well known or anything of that nature. I ended up meeting a lot more people than expected that weekend, and for the first time, I saw their enjoyment and dedication to my videos right in person. It's one thing, to see comments on the internet from people saying that they love my videos, but it's totally different to see how dedicated they are in person by using my tips on the claw, saying my catchphrases and stuff like that. When I was a shy, average little kid with no idea what I was good at, I never would have imagined people wanting to meet me or people telling me that I'm their idol. Now I can only help but think back to when I kept asking my mom, what am I good at? It took me till my early to mid-20s to find that question out, but I found it nonetheless and haven't looked back. I know this video is not claw machine or arcade related, but I wanted to make this not only to give you guys an insight on my life, but to hopefully encourage others to follow and not get discouraged like I did. I ended up finding out the great thing about YouTube is, it's less about competition and more about community. You have your own unique channel that we as a community can share with everyone, no matter how many views or subs we have. Since I figure there's a lot of people out there that can relate to my childhood and being shy and all that, and not really knowing what you're good at or what you want to do when you grow up, I made this video in hopes that some of you can relate to that. Hopefully this video will inspire people that have dreams, whether they're related to YouTube or not. And guys, don't let anyone tell you can't do anything in this world, because it's the unexpected people that usually achieve unexpected goals. And as I always say, thanks for watching.